Ang programang itikwa ay rated SPG Boom. Stricticals pat nubay chi ang kailangan hay. Baka cheese with silamus na temaret, ngekiling kasor, karahasan chi, boname, orkotan at dragamus na wititik ni Houston ng mga bagets.
Gusto ko, kopi ko blanca.
Delicious pa.
Di lang yan.
Creamy. Di lang yan. Gentle pa sa tummy. Switch na. Kopi ko blanca. Creamy na. Gentle pa sa tummy. Mula sa ZSEMSC, IPMJS mo yan!
Simula na ng weekdays viewing habit ng mga estudyanteng Pilipino. Ako po ang inyong kaklase, Jenny Moto. Samahan niyo po kaming lumipad kasama ang aming team. Di umano, ito ang kwentong tiyak na mapapasabi kayo ng
IKMJS na yan!
Ay, guys, cut! Hindi kayo papasok. Mamaya pa. Okay.
IKMJS na yan!
Ano ka ba? Hindi ka tumitingin sa dinadaanan mo. Bulag ka ba?
Ano? Matapang ka?
Oo,
matapang ka ha? Matapang ka? Bulag? Ikaw. Talaga? Ikaw pala? O ikaw? Ikaw? Ha? Dinis? Malas?
Welcome to 6-7 News, kaklase mo. Nagbabagang balita mula sa silid-aralan. Iba't ibang klase ng kakaibang learning needs, alamin natin ang detalye. Isang estudyanteng sobrang talino, nauuna ang sagot bago ang tanong. Ganito ka rin ba? Unang duda bago ebidensya. Tutukan ang kwento ng gifted and talented learner. Minsan, hindi problema ang sobrang talino. Madalas mali lang ang pinakikisamahan mo. Alamin kung paano mo haharapin ito. Isang tahimik na estudyante biglang napagod hindi sa tao, kundi sa mundo. Ikaw ba ito? Ginagawang mundo ang dapat na tao lang, kaya laging napagod. Alamin ang kwento ng isang learner with autism spectrum disorder. Mabilis mapagod dahil gulong-gulo sa kanyang nararamdaman. Isang estudyante naman, todo ang effort pero palaging di sapat. Parang ikaw, ginawa mo naman ang lahat. Sumagal kahit alam mong tayo. Tutukan ng kwento ng learner with dyslexia. Patunay na ang hirap ipaglaban ng effort na hindi nakikita. Lalo na kapag scrambled ang feelings, letters pag nagbabasa.
Isang estudyante malabo ang vision, pero klaro ang pagtingin sa'yo. Parang pag-ibig, hindi mo naman siya makita araw-araw, malinaw naman na ikaw rin ang tinitibok ng puso niya. Tutukan ang kwento ng learner with visual impairment. Minsan, hindi linaw ng mata ang kailangan upang mapansin, kundi unawa at love and care plus lambing. Digimon man yan.
Isang estudyante may problema sa pandinig pero marunong umintindi. Hindi katulad ng jowa mo ngayon, walang kapansanan sa pandinig pero di ka marinig tuwing nanghihingi ka ng assurance. Deserve. Okay. Ito ang kwento ng learner with hearing impairment. Paalala na ang pakikinig ay hindi laging tenga ang ginagamit. Minsan, utak din.
Isang estudyante may limitasyon sa galaw, pero walang limitasyon sa pangarap. Parang ikaw, may mga hindi kayang gawin, pero karapat-dapat pa rin piliin. Tutukan ang kwentong na mayroong learner with physical disability dahil ang kakayahan ay hindi nasusukat sa kakulangan sa parte ng katawan.
Isang estudyante hirap magsalita pero ang daming gustong ipaglaban. Di tulad mo, todo lumaban pero never pinaglaban. Narito ang kwento ng learner with communication disorder. Patunay na di hadlang ang hindi normal na pananalita upang abutin ang pangarap.
Upang simulan ang Session 11 na naglalayong ipaalam ang mga diversity of children with special needs, narito si Lay Barogo, ang unang tagahatid impormasyon upang mas maintindihan natin ang mga pagkakaiba ng mga learners with special educational needs.
Thank you so much, Lee. Hi, everyone. So, this is Lay. I know you have seen me already in the breaking news. So, that's actually the general concepts or the examples of the children's or learners with special educational needs. But at this time, I will be introducing to you the session 11, which is understanding the diversity of children's special educational needs. I know this video made to be entertaining. We made this a parody for the KMJS program. But this introduction, I made a consideration to make it formal so that you could guys understand it well, what we are trying to deliver to you guys. Let's begin. So in this session, we will explore the different ways children learn and the diverse educational needs they may have. Today, we will build on that understanding by looking more closely at specific group of learners. For this discussion, I will be focusing on the gifted and talented learners, as well as the learners with emotional and behavioral disorders. Throughout this session, I will be presenting real-life examples and short clips to help us better understand the learners and the challenges and strengths they may have. To guide our discussion, I have prepared a set of questions that will help us identify who these learners are, how they learn, and what kind of support they need inside the classroom. By the end of this session, our goal is to develop greater awareness and understanding of how inclusive education can better support every learner. Understanding learners with special educational needs is essential because no two learners are the same, even you and I. Each student has unique strengths, challenges, and ways of learning. When educators recognize these differences, they can create inclusive environments where all students feel valued, supported, and capable of succeeding, not just academically, but socially and emotionally as well.
6 5 3 5 8 9 7 9 3 2 3 8 4 6 2 6 4 3 3 8 3 2 7 9 5 0 2 8 8 4 1 9 7 1.
This game is called Pi Runner, and you have to type in the digits of pi before the alligator runs over the edge.
0. I got 71! 71!
Hi, my name is Ting. Hey, this is my wife Sherry, and we are the parents of Ryan, and he's going to participate in the Child Genius competition.
And Ali.
971693916406286. 75!
This competition is probably the first thing that I get to do that he doesn't get to do because of the age restrictions.
I always tell them, people remember number one. They don't remember number two. In the 2000 Olympia, who won the most medal? Michael Phelps. Who's second height most? Who knows? Nobody knows.
All right, that looks good enough, right? All right, go ahead, sweetie.
Our school is 2 or 3 grades ahead in math. I finished Algebra 1 for 6th grade, and normal people finish that for 9th grade. Because this is only half of the circle, I did half times pi times radius squared, and the radius would be 10, because the diameter right now is 20.
Ryan works extremely hard, and I feel that his family definitely promotes that. His mother was very clear that she would like one of her boys to be president at some point.
Hi, Mr. Russell. My days are pretty busy, and like almost every minute of my life, I have something scheduled. Ryan, do you think you have a question? Maybe something like your intonation or so. How about your technique? You have any question? Ask Mr. Russell for technique. No. What's the area he needs to improve? How about his posture? Do you think he's relaxed enough? I feel like if he's a performer, he needs to provide entertaining piece. Do you think he will be ready for recital coming up?
Well, I'll make sure.
Or maybe we can take more lessons, maybe come more. I really think he needs to practice more. If you reach one level, you always can improve yourself to reach to another level. However, I'm not a tiger mommy. Just to keep in mind, practice, 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 practice. Okay? I really don't push. But the thing is, we want them to be well-rounded, to reach his potential.
To maximize his
Maximize the potential, you have to be self-motivated, right?
because you know what to do.
This Kids Genius will provide a good opportunity for Ryan to test his capability. How can he compete with his peers?
This is the first time ever in the United States have that kind of competition, literally. Okay? And if you really perform and beat your opponents, your life will change forever.
That clip shows you what are the gifted and talented learners are. So those are the students who show exceptional abilities or high potential in areas such as academics, creativity, leadership, or specific talents like music or mathematics. While they may appear to excel easily, they still need appropriate challenges. And without proper support, they may experience boredom, frustration, or underachievement.
Mary, you knew the problem was incorrect. Why didn't you say anything?
Frank says I'm not supposed to correct older people.
So what kind of support do gifted learners usually need? They benefit from enrichment programs, advanced coursework, and opportunities that push them beyond standard lessons. For example, advanced math classes, creative problem-solving tasks, or leadership activities will help them fully develop their abilities while keeping them engaged and motivated. Now, moving on, our second topic, which is the emotional and behavioral disorders, focusing in autism spectrum disorder, or ASD.
Can't put this over your head.
No! I'm sorry!
And just having a really hard time, really bad meltdown.
What?
Just breathe. Deep breath. Deep breath.
You got it.
Deep breath.
Now that clip just showed you an example of the behavior of a learner with ASD. So why is ASD included under emotional and behavioral disorder? Autism spectrum disorder is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects communication, social interaction, and behavior. It is included because students with ASD may experience emotional regulation challenges, sensory sensitivities, and difficulty interpreting social cues. However, it's important to remember that autism exists on a spectrum, meaning each learner with ASD is different. Now, if you are wondering what teaching strategies are effective for learners with ASD, structured environments are very effective. Visual support such as schedules, social stories, and clear routines help students understand expectations. Teaching social skills explicitly and minimizing sensory overload can also greatly improve their learning experience and classroom participation. A common misconception is that these learners are less capable, where in reality they simply learn differently. With the right strategies, accommodation, and understanding, learners with special educational needs can thrive and reach their full potential. Inclusion is not about lowering standards, it's about providing equal opportunities. When we adjust how we teach instead of expecting students to adjust who they are, we create classrooms where diversity is respected and learning becomes meaningful for everyone. That's everything for my topic covering the gifted learners and talented, plus the emotional and behavioral learners. Congratulations, we are now learning regarding the diversities of children's special educational needs. And I hope you guys learned something from me. And I'm going to give the moment back to Jenny. My team will going to discuss more and show you some skits so that you could understand the topic as well. Thank you so much for listening, guys. This is again Lane. Ciao!
Scrambled words o scrambled eggs? Misteryo ng letrang nag-tiktok sa mata ni Ishan. Alamin!
Mama! Oh, hello, Maduti. Mama, look what I wrote. Let me see. Oh my God. What is this? That's letter. No! This is not the right thing. Oh my God, Gemalin.
Paano nga ba natin matutulungan ang mga batang sumasayaw ang mga letra sa kanilang paningin? At ano nga ba ang dapat gawin ng mga magulang para hindi na sila mahirapan pa? Para bigyan tayo ng linaw, makakasama natin ngayong gabi ang isang dalubhasa pagdating sa ganitong kondisyon. Siya po ay si Catherine Antoque, isang dyslexia specialist.
Ano ba yan? Ang daming kamay! Ano ba? Ay, rolling na ba? Rolling na, okay. Learning disability. So, a learning disability is a lifelong neurobiological condition that affects how the brain receives, processes, stores, and communicates information, like dyslexia. So, dyslexia is a learning disability that affects your ability to read, write, and spell accurately. It happens when your brain has trouble understanding written words. So, a child with dyslexia might have difficulty spelling words, trouble reading aloud in class, confused by letters with similar sounds, and mixing up the positions of sound in a word. But that doesn't mean they are slow or idiot. Did you know? Most people with dyslexia have average to superior intelligence. Their brain simply processes language, reading, and spelling differently. So, we have two main types of dyslexia. First is developmental dyslexia. Means say you're born with it. It's inherited or passed down through biological families. Second one is acquired dyslexia. It develops later in life after an illness or injury that affects your brain. Now, how can we assess children or person with dyslexia? To parents watching who are worried about their child's future, an early intervention is key. A diagnosis isn't a dead end, it's a roadmap. With specialist tutoring and accommodations, these children don't just get by, they thrive. We need to stop asking how smart is this child and start asking how is this child smart. Combining the right teaching with the right technology, most children with dyslexia can become highly successful readers and thinkers.
Kagulo. Dumako naman tayo sa loob ng tahanang ito, sa Zamboanga City. Naninirahan ang mag-amain na si Cardo at si Enteng. Parehong may visual impairment, pero di umano, magkaiba ang kanilang mundo.
Enteng, hapon na ba? Batid na ako ng kape. Oo.
Ano yun ba dito yung sugar? Huh? Ito. Ano lang? Tira. Oh.
Anong meron dito? Kape ang sabi ko, hindi tubig alat. Anong nilagay mo dito?
Ha? Ano? Anong maalat? Sugar nilagay ko dyan?
Eh, sabi ko sa'yo, kape. Pero, ba't ang alat nito? Anong nilagay mo?
Sugar! Di ko ata nakakita. Baka piling ko nalagay ko asin.
Batang.
Akala ng marami, kapag sinabing visual impairment, black o itim lang ang nakikita. Pero mga kaklase, alam nyo ba na may mga taong malabo lang ang mundo? Parang label nyo lang ng kachat mo. Yun pala, partial vision loss lang ang tawag doon. Para po ipaliwanag ang iba't ibang uri ng kapansanan sa paningin. At kung may pag-asa pa bang muling makakita ang ating bida, makakasama natin ngayong gabi ang isang eksperto. Siya po ay si Catherine, low vision specialist. Kilala po siya sa pagbibigay ng serbisyo at kaliga sa mga pasyenteng tila nawala na ng pag-asa sa kanilang paningin.
Vision impairment means that the person's eyesight cannot be corrected to a normal level. Vision impairment may be caused by a loss of visual clarity, where the eyes does not see object as clearly as usual. It may also be caused by a loss of visual field, where the eye cannot see as wide an area as usual without moving the eyes or turning the head. There are different ways of describing how severe a person's vision loss is. The World Health Organization defines low vision as visual clarity between 20/70 and 20/400, with the best possible correction or visual field of 20 degrees or less. Blindness is defined as a visual clarity worse than 20/400, with the best possible correction or a visual field of 10 degrees or less. So what causes vision impairment? Globally, the leading causes of vision impairment and blindness are refractive errors, cataract, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration, but there are effective intervention covering promotions, preventions, treatment, and rehabilitations which address the needs associated with eye conditions and vision impairment. While many vision loss cases can be prevented, such as those due to infections, trauma, unsafe traditional medicines, perinatal diseases, nutrition-related diseases, unsafe use of self-administrations of topical treatment, and this is not possible for all. For many eye conditions, example diabetic retinopathy, early detection and timely treatment are crucial to avoid reversible vision loss. So, treatment is also available for many eye conditions that do not typically cause vision impairment, such as dry eye, conjunctivitis, and blepharitis, but generated discomfort and pain. Treatment of this condition is directed at alleviating the symptoms and preventing the evolution towards more severe stages of those diseases.
Viral ang isang estudyante sa paralang panglungsod ng Zamboanga City dahil naglakad ng matuwid at hindi huminto habang inaawit ang ating pambansang aw. At ating alamin kung ano nga ba talaga ang nangyari. Bakit hindi huminto ang estudyanteng ito? Di umano'y bingi raw ito? O di kaya'y isinambahala ang ating watawat at ang ating pambansang awit? Dali-dali ang aming team lumipad patungong Zamboanga City upang masaksihan at makialam kung ano nga ba talaga ang nangyari sa estudyanteng ito. Sa panayam na ito, kasama natin ng isang saksi na nakita ng isang estudyante na naglakad at walang pakialam sa pangyayari.
Nakakadismaya dahil walang hiya at walang respeto sa ating pambansang awit ng estudyanteng ito. Ganito na ba talaga ang estudyante ngayon? Ay!
Kasama natin ang magulang ng bata.
Ang aking anak ay mayroong hearing impairment o isa siyang bingi, deaf, kaya nagawa niya itong maglakad at walang hinto habang inaawit ang ating pambansang awit.
Ano nga ba ang hearing impairment? O paano ba ang isang tao na nagiging bingi at ano nga ba ang lunas nito?
So what is hearing impairment? Hearing impairment is a condition where a person has difficulty hearing sounds clearly or cannot hear at all. It can affect one ear or both ears. Children with hearing impairment may find it hard to understand spoken words, especially in a noisy environment like the classroom. Why hearing impairment happens? Because when there is a problem in the ear or in the parts of the body that help us hear sounds, it may be present at birth or may develop as a person grows older. Some children are born with hearing loss, while others lost their hearing because of illness or injury. The causes of hearing impairment includes infections, such as measles or meningitis, exposure to loud noise, ear injuries, or problem during birth. It can also be caused by genetic or lack of proper medical care. Repeated ear infection can also damage hearing over time. Hearing impairment cannot always be cured, but it can be treated and supported. Treatment may include the use of hearing aids, cochlear, implants, or regular medical checkups. In school, students may need sign language, interpreters, caption pages, or assisted listening device. Teacher can help by speaking clearly, facing the student, and using visual aid. With proper support from family, school, and community, students with hearing impairment can learn and communicate effectively.
Halina't sumama sa aming panayam at makialam upang magkaroon ka ng kaalaman. Isa pang viral ng mga estudyante sa paralang panglungsod ng Zamboanga City na nahagip ng aming kamera na kung saan sama-sama ang mga may kapansanan. Para sa iba, ito ay isang nakakatawa. Ngunit, para sa kanila, isa itong hamon na kung saan ay gusto nilang makatulong sa kanilang kapwa. Kahit alam nila sila ay nahihirapan. Kasama natin ulit si Doc Charles Lester Alabastro na kung saan ay ipapaliwanag sa atin kung ano nga ba ang physical disability.
What is physical disability? So what is physical disabilities? Physical disabilities refers to a condition where a person has difficulty moving or using parts of their body. These affects walking, standing, using hands, or maintaining balance. Children with physical disabilities may need help in doing daily activities, especially in school. So why physical disability happen? Because when the body does not function normally, it may present at birth or may develop later in life. Some children are born with physical limitation, while others acquire them because of illness, accident, or injuries. So the cause of physical disabilities include birth defects, accident, illnesses, and injuries. It can be caused by conditions such as cerebral palsy, polio, muscular problems, or spinal cord injuries, poor nutrition, infections, or lack of proper medical care. Physical disability cannot always be cured, but it can be managed with proper care and support. Treatment may include physical therapy, regular medical checkups, and the use of assistive devices such as wheelchair, crutches, or braces. In school, providing accessible classrooms, proper seating, modified physical activities, and mobility aids help students learn better. Support from teacher, family, and community is very important to help children with physical disabilities live confidently and independently.
Mga kaklase, isa sa communication disorders ay ang hirap sa pagbuo ng salita, pagiging utal o stutter ang isang estudyante. Maaari pa rin natin niyang solusyonan. Tara na at makinig kung paano.
Mama, Papa, ano ba yan? Tagal-tagal mo magsalita, hindi tayo matatapos dito. Tuloy na natin. Huwag na, ayoko na makipaglaro sa'yo. Bakit? Bakit ka kasi ganyan magsalita? Huwag na daw, hanap na lang ako ibang kalaro. Wait lang.
Mga estudyanteng nahihirapan magsalita, hanapan natin ng solusyon. Alamin sa ating panayam sa pamamagitan ng video call kasama si Dr. Noor at ina ng bata sa video.
So, what is communication disorder? When we say communication disorder, it is a health conditions that make it hard for a person to talk, understand others, or use language well. Think of it this way, just like some people need glasses to see clearly. Some people have trouble with load, how to make their brain work and their body together. And for talking and understanding, there are different kinds of communication disorder. Like for an example, stuttering. Instead of saying son, person say son. So it make it hard for them to talk. We have also example, which is the language impairment, when it's hard to put words together to make sense or understand what others are saying. And the last is when a person can say a certain sound right, like for an example, wabbit instead of saying rabbit.
Apo, okay na ba to? Ito ba yung mic? Ayan, Ma'am Jerry, naririnig niyo po ba ako? Hello? Okay na yata to. Ayun ho, magandang araw po sa mga nakakapanood ngayon sa kaklase mo, Jenny, sagutin mo. Ayan, nilapitan po kami ng team ng KNDS patungkol sa aking apo na nahihirapang magsalita sa klase nila. Hindi ko ba alam bakit. Alam ko. Bawal sabihin ko. Sige. Sa katunayan, Ma'am Jenny, nahihirapan na po talaga ako sa aking apo. Marami na akong nagre-reklamo. Mga guro niya. Ewan ko ba, simula ba talaga dati, nahihirapan na talaga siyang mag-pronounce ng maayos sa mga salita at saka sa mga binabasa niya. At kahit paulit-ulit ko namin turuan ito, ganun pa rin po sa mga susunod na araw. Hindi ko na nga ho alam kung ano pang klaseng turo ang kailangan namin gawin sa kanyo. Palipat-lipat na rin siya ng kaaralan. Baka ho matulungan mo kami at na masolusyonan yung kondisyon ng aking apo.
So why is understanding this disorder important? So to help kids with special needs, we first need to know what makes each condition different, how to tell if a child has it, and what kind of help they need. So when the teacher and the caregiver have this knowledge, they can give the right support to each child. This might mean changing classroom rules, a title, using special tools, or planning lessons that work for a child's way of learning. By making a classroom where everyone is welcome and supported, we help these kids to do well in school, make friends, and feel good about themselves. Every child is different, so the help they get should be made just for them.
How many colors do we have in rainbow? Ishen. Ishen? Ishen. Are you listening? Ishen. Yes, teacher. Show me the dot. Show me the dot to the phone. Go on. Faster. I don't know, teacher. What you don't know? You find it there. There's so many dots. Guys, anyone? Ma'am, napanood ko na yan. Dyslexia yan.
Ulitin mo. Indian accent tayo. Ulit. Oo.
Ma'am, napanood ko na yan. Dyslexia yan.
Dyslexia yan?
These sessions aim to explore how to develop lesson plans for inclusive settings. These plans provide tailored teaching to meet diverse student needs, help build a positive classroom environment through collaboration, and list useful resources. Individualized instruction. This focuses on recognizing each student's unique strengths, interests, and challenges. This involves setting personalized learning goals and using differentiate method to match various learning preferences. Accommodations and modifications. Accommodations remove barrier without changing what's being taught, but modification adjusts what's being taught or expected. These steps include identifying needed changes, adjusting materials or assessment, and using adaptive tools.
Dumayo naman tayo sa huling session, fostering an inclusive and supportive classroom environment. Alam nyo ba, mga kaklase, na dapat tayo ay mag-spread ng positivity sa environment natin? Mainam din na palakasin ang pagtutulungan natin. Paano ba ito ma-achieve?
Good morning, parents.
What's the matter, teacher? Why did you call us here today?
I knew this. She was the problem. What did she do this time?
Parents, let's calm down for a moment, parents. As I observe Ishan's condition, she is not like the other students. She is not normal.
Are you saying my daughter is not normal?
No, mother. What I am saying is that Ishan is not like the normal students in the classroom. Ishan has a condition we call dyslexia.
Tara na at ating alamin sa ating panayam kay Miss Magpuyo at Miss Muhalos.
Nananaginip ng gising. Uy, 6'7" ka klase mo, camera pala to eh. Hello! So from the previous skit, it highlights that when educators and parents work in isolation, student support is inconsistent and less effective. However, by collaborating through regular meetings, sharing techniques, and aligning efforts, they create uniform help across home and school, leading to better confidence and progress for the child. Nagkatulala sa hangin, sumikip ang, ano ba yan? Kahit palit ng hangin. To build an inclusive classroom, you create a space where every student feels they belong by setting rules of mutual respect and greeting them personally. Instead of letting students work in isolation, use teamwork activities so they learn to support and rely on one another. Finally, make sure to celebrate everyone's unique wins, whether it's a great art project, a kind act,
or hard work so every child knows their specific strengths are valued.
Ngayon, may kaalaman na tayo patungkol sa mga special learners. Atin naman alamin kung ano-ano ang mga resources and tools for designing learning plans. Narito sina Gemma, Bakil, at Jenny upang mabigyan tayo ng tulong para ma-achieve ang full potential ng mga special learners.
Ma'am, huwag kang tatakwa. Galing po kami sa 6-7 kaklase mo sa KMJSE. Interviewin ka lang po sana namin. Ay, opo. Relax lang po. Okay.
So we have a special education department. They help families, parents with support, rules, and organization to help students with special needs. So group like CEC and NCLD use research to support teachers and effective learning method. So we have also a local organization here in the Philippines. First is Reading Association of the Philippines, or RAP. It is a nationwide group that trains teachers, parents, and volunteers in effective reading programs to improve their literacy skills among kids who find reading difficult. So we also have a Philippine Dyslexia Foundation. So this foundation organization is mainly focused on dyslexia. So they provide assessment, support, and reading intervention programs for children who struggle with reading due to learning differences.
So much can change in a school year that sometimes
he just kind of is blossoming.
It's simply stunning.
I get very emotional when I think about it.
Charlotte Wilder is referring to her son Alex, a student at SOAR in far northeast Denver. Since he was in first grade, she's watched Alex struggle while he's lived it.
Mentally, I just thought I wasn't good enough.
A learning disability, one he couldn't exactly put into words, quite literally held him back.
It was actually pretty hard because I couldn't see my friends. I thought I was just going to be held back again.
He couldn't even get his thoughts out.
A hunch from his special education teacher revealed something.
He needed a modality to just express exactly what he's thinking.
Whenever I have a problem writing a word or a sentence, assistive technology, I can use word-to-speech typing.
Assistive technology revealed the talent and potential Alex always had. Alex went from barely being able to craft a couple of sentences to being a top essay writing student in his class.
It's allowing him just to show us exactly what he knows and what he's capable of.
Good job, buddy.
Too often, we put assumption ahead of capabilities.
No, I want everyone to see, look what they can do.
Andra Parks is a special education teacher at Marama Elementary. She works with students who have multiple severe disabilities.
I've seen these kids that you think they don't speak, they can't write, they can't hold a pencil, oh, they can't do anything, they can't learn anything. Well, guess what? Yellow. And we didn't even know that she could do all this. And because of technology and all this, we can see what she knows now finally.
Imagine if we didn't put limits on capability.
They get to show the world what they know.
It just shows me how important that accommodations, including assistive technology, are to give all children access to that free appropriate education that they're deserving.
Imagine how much could change in a school year or in a lifetime.
I kind of want to be able to help other people, like other people like me who had to be held back and have learning disabilities.
Sometimes it's simply stunning.
I can't even begin to describe the feeling. I'm so proud of him.
What is online platforms and technology? It is the digital tools and resources used to support students with special needs in their learning. This includes educational websites, learning apps, text-to-speech software, communication apps, and adaptive devices. They are important because they help make learning more accessible and inclusive for students and different abilities. These tools reduce learning barriers and allow students to participate actively in class. They can also integrate assistive technologies like text-to-speech, speech-to-text, and communication apps to support students in completing tasks and expressing themselves.
Our reports today, one message stands out clearly. Not all learners experience education in the same way.
Some learn quickly, some need more time, and others face challenges that are often misunderstood or unseen.
Learners with special educational needs are not asking for special treatment. They are asking for understanding, support, and equal opportunities to learn.
An inclusive classroom is not defined by how fast students learn, but by how willing we are to adjust, empathize, and work together.
Because sometimes, the learner we label as different is simply the one who needs to be understood the most.
From the 6-7 Kaklasimo News Network, these are the stories not only to be reported, but to be reflected on, inside and beyond the classroom. Ako si Lei Barogo.
At ako naman si Nurfaina Ahmad. Nakatutok, 6-7 News, kaklase mo!
Mula sa lungsod ng Zamboanga